All right, and welcome back into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you here this morning. Hometown Today is brought to you by Professional Floor Covering. They have their holiday hosting sale going on now. They're located at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, and you can visit ProFloor online at profloor.com. Hometown Today is also presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Make this your best Christmas ever with gifts for the home. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, downtown Beaver Dam. I'm joined this morning by Ben Nelson. He's the director over at St. Vincent de Paul of Dodge County. Welcome in, Ben. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me here today. So I came to kind of recap where we're at. We got to launch the food pantry expansion here on the radio station. To tell the listeners a little bit about what we're doing, we're adding 44 feet onto the building. We're doubling the size of the reception area where people get to select food when they come to the food pantry, and also doubling the workspace for the volunteers. And that was primarily because, we've experienced such a large growth in people experiencing food insecurity, which is the term we use in the industry for people that can't get all the food that they need out of their check or food stamps or things like that. So what we saw from 2 years ago is that we went from serving 168 families a month to serving 285 families.
Wow.
Now, last month in November, we broke a record of 345 families being served. This is the largest amount of need for food that we have ever seen. So it just kind of cements for us the fact that, this food pantry expansion is literally vital to being able to serve more people, because that number, may continue to grow. That is what we're, seeing within the industry. So that's why I'm here today to talk about, our campaign. We're raising $600,000 to not only build onto the building, but to also remodel the current building, put in freezers, put in coolers, put in shelves, racks, carts, everything that we need to push food out to people's cars. To talk about, the surge we're seeing. I mean, when I said the numbers were 70% up, with what I just said, now it's over like 100%. Compared to where we were 2 years ago. So the need is really extraordinary, and what we're doing and what we're facing is we have tons of volunteers. We need more space for them. We need more space for the food that's coming in from the food drives, like the one the radio station does, like the one the Boy Scouts do, like the ones the fire department does. The school just did their food drive, this past couple weeks, and the kids brought over just tons of food. I believe we received the food from the Washington school, and it filled their Beaver Dam truck, trailer that they pull, and it was just amazing. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's where we need your help here at the radio station, talking to everybody about the needs at the pantry.
And how do you go about when you're talking about needing things such as new shelves and things of that nature? How do you decide maybe the priority of purchasing those things or upgrading?
Yeah, exactly. So we looked at this and we studied this, and we knew that we needed, more space, and we needed this much more space. So yeah, we had to, we sat down with volunteers, we sat down with board members, we sat down with people that use the food pantry, and we talked about what the needs were, where we needed more space. And so it was a holistic approach into deciding that the food pantry needed to expand.
Yeah, because you guys do pretty well already with making it work in there. Because
Right.
we helped out. I can't remember, maybe September, closer to when it was warm out. We were just cleaning and sorting things of that nature. But yeah, you guys it was very efficient with how it was all done. But I can see how maybe some upgrades were due.
Right. So like yesterday, we had 36 families. It was the first day of the month, and families can come every month, and it was just extraordinary. Normally we do about 20 families a day, and we're talking about in a window between 9 a.m. and noon. So to push through almost 40 families in a 3-hour period, we're talking pizzas, cans of soup, cans of vegetables, cans of fruits, boxes of potatoes, hamburger helper, getting tubes of, ground beef out of the freezer. Of course, during Thanksgiving last month, we were giving away turkeys, and, hams are probably going to be going out here in December. And there's just all kinds of things that go into, planning that. and getting those donations in. So we drive our truck all the way down to Milwaukee and pick up the turkeys from Hunger Task Force and other agencies like that help distribute food to pantries in need.
Have you talked with any other St. Vincent de Paul's in Wisconsin and talked about maybe if they've seen a similar increase? I know that the one in Columbus recently just opened, so they probably don't have data on that. But
across the board, Coletta has said that she's heard from, and Coletta's our food pantry manager. She said that she has heard that it's up kind of across the board, and she sits in on regular meetings that are run by the state or by Hunger Task Force, for example, and so that's where we get some of our information. That's where we sometimes get leads on who might have food to donate. But there's some very generous people right here in this town that donate food to us on a monthly basis, like Richie Lou donates pizza so that everybody can get a pizza in their box when they go to pick it up. We get food sometimes from Kraft when they have overruns of cream cheese and different things like that, and so they'll bring us food. So that's always amazing as well. And there's other food processors throughout the county that contribute.
I know that on Black Friday, I believe it was that the thrift store was doing like all profits went towards the food pantry. How did that go?
It went really well. We raised $11,627.03.
Wow, that's great.
So it was one of our busiest days of the year, which was fantastic. To talk a little bit about donations that have come in, National Exchange Bank and Trust gave us $1,200 just to purchase food for the month of December, so we could give out more food this month. So we'd like to thank them. They also donated $3,000 towards our Sleep Safe and Sound, which gives beds to people in need and kids. So that's great as well. So to date, we've raised about $67,000 out of the $600, which is kind of on track for being, breaking ground here in April, as long as we can continue the momentum. And we have pledges that push that up towards about $100,000. So we're doing pretty good there. The store and the conferences, which that's something I should explain a little bit. So the Society of St. Vincent de Paul is sometimes delegated by the county, and so we serve all of Dodge County, and we have teams at the different parishes, throughout our county, over in Mayville, down Reeseville, and here at Catherine Drexel Parish in Beaver Dam. And what they do is they go out and they meet with people that need help, whether it's utilities, whether it is rent, maybe it's car repair or prescription drugs or something like that. And then of course the store does things as well, giving away clothing, giving away furniture, giving away mattresses. And so over the course of the entire year, we spent $269,000 in either helping people with rent, helping people with their utility bills, buying mattresses, and that kind of thing. In addition to that, the store has given away over $30,000 worth of donated goods. So when somebody has a fire and they need, new furniture for their living room, for their bedroom, maybe they just moved out of a place or they just came to this area and they needed clothing or something like that. So our furniture and home goods, the store has helped 434 unique households with 577 people just for, like furniture and, cooking utensils, that kind of stuff. On the clothing side of things, we've helped over 429 households with clothing. That's 436 individual people. And the store has also met with 120 people that have needed more help than what we can give. And so that's where we turn them over to the conference members for rent, utilities, and things like that. And they're the ones that, make the decisions about giving out financial aid.
That's wonderful work that you guys. That's wonderful
so
data.
that's just a small piece. Of course, the pantry, as we talked about, now we're into the 300s as far as the number of families that we're serving, and it's just incredible to see that growth. Now, we expected to see some growth over the holidays, but not necessarily that much. So it's kind of a little bit surprising, but that's why we're there. That's why we're talking about this, expansion of the building.
And how do you go about planning or maybe projecting numbers? Now, like when it comes to the holidays, you can kind of assume that would be the case. But I guess in general, how do you, like when you've seen record-breaking numbers this year with 345 with that record-breaking number, how do you even go about projecting how, like,
So as that starts to happen over the course of the month, of course, the food pantry manager and the team there are looking at the shelves, seeing, stocks go down. They increase the speed at which we order food. We currently try to buy all of our food local. We try to support local Beaver Dam businesses. So we buy from Piggly Wiggly, we buy from Aldi's, we buy from, Food Pride downtown, and, everywhere else that we can too. We get fresh fruits and vegetables. We buy from Cisco, a food company out of Baraboo that delivers to some of the restaurants here in town, so we can get cases of 50-pound bags of potatoes and onions and things like that, so that everybody's getting some fresh fruits and vegetables. We get bell peppers, we get tomatoes sometimes, cucumbers. Of course, we get apples and oranges from them. But all of your box stuff and canned stuff, we get those from the local food companies here in town, and they also partner with us. They give us a preferred pricing for buying it by the case and picking it up at their back door versus going in and cleaning off their shelf. So Piggly Wiggly, Food Pride, and Aldi's have stepped up and given us a better deal, which of course stretches the donations that you make towards the food pantry into being able to buy more food and impact more people.
When it comes to, because I remember talking with Colette, Coletta at the pantry, and she was showing us the shelf in the front end there that was from older stuff from grocery stores that had been donated.
Sure, yeah. When the donations come in, there's a sorting process that happens. Of course, we want to first in, first out as much food as possible. So that means that the stuff with the oldest date goes out first into that room, and so we have a couple of different things happening there. So when we build a box of food, we guarantee the box has so many things of macaroni and cheese, soup, fruits and vegetables, that kind of stuff. But then and those are a lot of the things that we purchase. Now, sometimes we get those things donated in, and so it goes right in and it mixes in with our purchase stuff. And so, of course, the date that's going to expire soonest goes out first. Those in the entranceway, when you come into the food pantry, we have carts for what we call, quick pick foods. And so, you get things in like maybe, refried beans or maybe black peas or something like that we don't give to everybody. But if somebody likes to cook with that, they can pick that off the shelf. So they get some quick picks too, to where they can take their box of food and, if you will, diversify it towards their personal preferences on whether or not they like chickpeas, or whether they like enchilada sauce or whatever it might be. So we put those kind of foods out there that are unique or maybe ethnic, and then there's also a rack for recently expired or short date, so that people know that this food should be eaten right away.
Right. Got it.
And one of the things that most people don't realize is the best by date doesn't necessarily mean discard on this date. So they're ensuring optimal peak flavor by this date, but it's still edible and good sometimes for 6 to 12 months after that.
Right. You just probably won't find milk on that.
Oh
rack.
Yeah. So yes, anything that's refrigerated or frozen, is a little bit different than like a canned good. But when you're talking about a gratin potatoes and they're 1 month expired, they're not really expired. They're not guaranteeing that you're gonna that they'll have peak flavor.
Right, got it. And so that whole front area is part of the renovation that's going to be going underway?
Yeah, it's going to be twice as big, so we can serve twice as many people at one time. Right now, only like 1 or 2 families can come in at a time, and we have to stagger them like every 10 or 15 minutes. And so we're hoping to increase the volume that we can process in a 15 to 20 minute period, double that, so that we can meet the needs of everybody who wants to come that day. I mean, we're not turning anyone away, and the ladies will stay, later if needed to make sure that everybody is served. But we need to start building that capacity as we're seeing the capacity grow right now.
Right.
So we don't want to be in a place where that would happen. So that's why, this is such a vital campaign.
Got it. Well, awesome. There's so many questions I still have to ask. But we need to take a break here on Hometown today. Again, chatting with Ben Nelson, director at St. Vincent de Paul here in Dodge County. We're talking about the food pantry expansion that is underway currently here on Hometown today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. and welcome back into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern here this morning with Ben Nelson, director of the St. Vincent de Paul Dodge County location. Welcome back in.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we still have some things we can get to. We were talking a little bit before about Giving Tuesday and the food pantry expansion. We updated on the fundraiser and the end of the year numbers that we had, but we still didn't cover how people can help, especially now that it's expanding so much. There's more help needed.
Yes, so we've partnered with the Beaver Dam Area Community Foundation, so you can go to their website and click on the donate button, and there's a drop-down menu there, and you can see all the different organizations that are doing fundraisers as part of them. You can click on the food pantry expansion, and you can donate electronically there. You can also donate at the thrift store. Feel free to ask for a manager, drop off a check at the thrift store, make sure that it's made out to the Dodge County Food Pantry, and that you put in the memo line expansion. We'll make sure that it gets to the right area. If you want to donate for food, that's fine as well. You can put that on on your memo line as well, and we'll make sure that your donation is only spent on food. You can also send in your check via mail to 125 Dodge Drive, Suite 100. Again, address it to the Dodge County Food Pantry, and we'll make sure that it gets there as well.
Wonderful. And when it comes to this expansion or doubling the size of a lot of it, are you going to have to double the staffing as well?
Yes, so we are looking at expanding the staff in the food pantry and getting more volunteers. So if you're interested in being a volunteer at the food pantry, now's a great time to fill out an application. You can stop in at the thrift store. We have them right at the register counter, so you can ask for a volunteer application, and we'd be happy to have you join our team.
And what does that kind of look like shifts-wise?
So currently the food pantry is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and typically we have 3 teams. And there is a little bit of rotating around, but you typically work like 1 day a week. So if you can't work a Wednesday, they might put you on a Friday or a Monday. So if you're looking to do something for about 3 to 3.5 hours, once a week, it's a pretty good volunteer opportunity.
Definitely is, and you guys do a great work. You were talking about some of the numbers. Were there any numbers you wanted to repeat again about the amazing work you guys did this last year? It was some really awesome numbers. Again,
the families that we've served has not only gone up, 70% from 2 months ago when we started this, but now it's almost double with, where we're sitting in November with 345, families being served. So the need has continued to grow as we thought it was when we were, talking about this 2 months ago. So if you'd like to be a part of, the food pantry expansion, please, contact me. I'm available, at the store. You can reach out to me at 920-885-6971. That's the store's number, and my extension is number 9. I'd be happy to take your call and talk to you about how you could be a part of the solution.
Awesome. Well, Ben, thanks again for joining me this morning. Is there anything else we wanted to cover before we go?
God bless everybody, and have happy holidays.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ben, again for joining this morning. Hometown Today is presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Discover McKinstry's Home Furnishings and make this your best Christmas ever. This Christmas, give yourself or someone special a gift for the home. You can choose from over 100 Lazy Boy recliners in stock and ready for prompt delivery. They have a selection of Christmas area rugs, pictures, and accent pieces. Give the gift of time with a grandfather, wall, or mantle clock. Brighten up that dark corner with a decorative table or floor lamp. Make this your best Christmas ever with gifts for the home. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, downtown Beaver Dam. Hometown Today is also presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Visit Randy and the team today to give your home the gift it deserves, an upgrade for all of your holiday hosting. Don't delay. Stop in at Professional Floor Covering or give Randy a call to schedule your measurement to upgrade your home before the holidays. Professional Floor Covering is located at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, and online at proflr.com. We need to step aside and visit the ABC News and go to the Daily Dodge News Center with Justin Wilski here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.